Hello, everyone. Welcome to another one-on-one on Talking Feds. I don't know if you're like me, but I can tell you the news is just too much of late. Sometimes it feels overwhelming. Sometimes it feels morose. Sometimes it feels both. It's exciting to be living through, but man, who really likes to drink champagne from a fire hose, as they say? So when I get out of sorts, I try to think about, I wanted today in this conversation just to take a sort of break and have just a pleasant, fun conversation. And when I have that mindset, I often think, and this is true, WWHD, what would Henry do? Because Henry Winkler is about the most upbeat and grateful and well adjusted in a town that is not always that way. I think maybe anyone I know, depending on how well he hides it. And he has been good enough to consent to a little therapy session with me and maybe with you today to kind of just bring our mood up and away from the news. And I happen to have him right here. Henry Winkler, thanks so much for being with us.
I am so happy to be here, Harry. It's nice to see you.
Thanks so much. All right. Well, first, what you been up to? We're midsummer here and summertime. I remember last year you did a big fishing thing. What have you been doing for fun?
Well, my wife and I went fishing. We went fishing in May this time at the beginning of the season, and we're going again at the end of the season in September. We have been on a book tour, Ireland, Scotland, and England for my memoir, Being Henry, and it was delightful. I was adopted by a fire brigade in Ireland, and we were invited to the Royal Ascot, the King's Races, which was amazing because you hear about it in history, in musicals. And there we were in a top hat, and then got word the Queen would like to have a conversation with me.
You're kidding. And was it like that in general? I'm sure here you go on the street and people recognize you. You probably get more than you like. Oh, it's the Fonz, etc. Does your reputation precede you in the British Isles?
It does. It precedes me in 126 countries. I mean, I'm telling you, if I look at it objectively, it is an amazement that this is my life.
Can you elaborate, please?
Since the beginning, since I played the Fonz, I have been welcomed and invited for dinner in almost every city I have ever traveled to on the globe. And it is, I am so grateful for it. And of course, I will only go if I find out that the person is a good chef.
I'm not, or the Queen. You'll go for
the Queen. Yeah, but she did not invite me. How is the
Queen's cooking?
She did not invite me, but being invited to Ascot. So we're here when we're invited to Ascot there in England, and I hired a tails cutaway coat and a vest and a top hat.
How that you don't have a picture, do you?
I do.
Well, we will post the picture to this. Oh, or just show it up. Hold it to your thing.
I do. I have a picture.
It was amazing. I want the hat. I want to see the hat.
Okay. We had the most incredible time. It will take me a minute while I'm talking.
Well, while you are, Phil and I spent a little bit of time in that world, Oxford and the like, and I learned a detail that
went to Oxford?
I've spent time there. I don't go anywhere. I just loaf with friends. But I was there, and I learned a detail that I've never forgotten, which is it is invariably polite, even in front of the Queen, even in England, to eat asparagus with one's hands. So everybody out there, if you ever have asparagus and people give you crap, you have the Queen as authority. You can use your hand.
I will give you a travel tip.
All right.
Oh
my gosh.
Now that is one of those petty cabs, right?
Right.
Okay. So my wife and I took a stroll and we went to a wonderful department store, Fortnum and Mason. Very traditional, very
They
beautiful.
really do department stores special
Oh
over
my
there.
goodness.
Yeah.
And when we were walking back, we had like 5 more blocks. We were a little tired. It was hot. And I said, hey, let's just jump in one of these cabs for fun. And what I didn't know was either you had to negotiate before you got in
Right.
or never get in, because 5 blocks also riding me in a circle until I realized we're passing the same building
Right.
cost me
Hello, Governor. That's a mere 90 euros. No, right.
134 pounds.
Amazing.
It was horrific. And here we are.
All right. So into every life, a little rain must fall.
Yes.
Oh, my Lord. Okay. Hold it up a little more. Guys, can everybody see that? The handsome guy on my left, right at the oh my gosh.
And my
and
beautiful
what
wife
an
in the
outfit your
middle.
wife is wearing.
She is wearing a dress that I love that I bought her, but she designed a hat with a Milner. I think that's the name. There in England, and all along the tour would talk to this hat maker, and finally this beautiful hat was created. But
the women's equivalent of Savile Row, right?
Oh my goodness. It was really special. We were in a box, which is really a long dining room with all these other wonderful people with top hats and cutaways, had a 3-course lunch. And then word came down, the Queen would like to talk to Henry. Okay.
All right, then.
So we went down and I presented gifts to the winner of the 4th race.
Wait, so you didn't move. The Queen came to you.
Oh, no, we went to her.
Yeah, they took you. Okay, all right.
Yes,
I wonder.
he
Right.
was down in the royal viewing area of the horses. And we had a chat, and it was like I had known her for 10 years. She was focused. She was warm. She was as lovely as anyone you've ever met in your life. There was no pomp and circumstance in that conversation.
Wow. Okay. Gosh, I mean, I don't know where to go from here, but I want to. It's so interesting what you said from the time you were the Fonz, which is itself an amazing story. But people who didn't listen to it the first time, sorry, we won't repeat it. But it sounds like you've got 40, 50 years of sort of surprise, delightful guest situations with people. I wonder if one comes to mind that isn't with the Queen, where you, for some reason, out of surprise, wound up sharing a hot dog with a stranger, but it was something along those lines, and it was just a delightful experience for you. Anything remind you of this?
I love music. I can't make music, so I depend upon the kindness of strangers. And sometimes when I'm memorizing a monologue, I use music while I'm memorizing. And then as I'm performing it, I hear the music, which elevates the emotionality in my head.
Okay. Like the King's Speech.
I get tongue-tied with musicians. And I met Bruce Springsteen 4 times. And this last time, which was just a few months ago here in LA, I finally got the nerve to ask him for a selfie. And I was beside myself. And I took the selfie. He is in perfect focus. I am out of focus. But I don't care.
Yeah.
Brandi Carlile. I love Brandi Carlile. She is a great writer, singer, just an amazing musician. We go and see her at the Hollywood Bowl.
What a great venue. Amazing.
A great venue. The last person I saw there was Dolly Parton, who is magical.
Yeah.
So Brandi Carlile is there, and she has friends on the stage with her. One of them is Joni Mitchell. And I cannot leave without hugging Brandi Carlile. This is the second time we have seen her, Stacy and I. But I see when I'm hugging her that there is a an open doorway, and it's Joni Mitchell sitting in a chair. And I excuse myself and I go over and I say, Miss Mitchell, my name is Henry Winkler. She said, I know who you are. I said, oh, this is my wife, Stacy. She would like to meet you. And she said, oh, so you're the woman who married the Fonz.
And she's Canadian. Man, we do sidebars on the show. I've been trying so hard to get her since she's back out in the public, for many years. I mean, she's to me just, the miracle of rock mixed with jazz. And she's so amazing. And she had kind of secluded herself. And now she's back. You'll see her doing things. And I'm dying to get her to do a sidebar. If you're out there, Joni Mitchell, and hearing it, you have one of your really biggest fans, and we would love to do it.
Talking Feds is supported by the Brennan Center for Justice. In this new political era, the Brennan Center will do what they do best: defend the Constitution and the rule of law. They're prepared to fight against presidential overreach and will continue advocating for reforms to resist weaponized government, stop billionaires from corrupting our elections, and ensure every eligible American has the freedom to vote. Stay informed by visiting BrennanCenter.org.
We're midsummer here. What's the rest of the summer hold for you? Are there plans?
So right now, I am writing the Detective Duck #3 with my partner, Lynn Oliver. We have written 4 of the 6 chapters so far.
Right. Oh, you sketched it out in advance, so there's 6, etc.
Oh, yes. Well, we know what the story is and what the form is. This is a book for emerging readers, and I'm very proud of it. It about a little duckling who dreams about being a detective. And this next one is about jealousy and the danger of plastic somehow getting into the waterways. And we have combined the story, and it's really, I love it. But anyway,
and you work together. What's your working
yes, we do.
style?
We work together on. This is our 40th novel for children.
Wow.
Yeah. So we work together, and we work very well. I am very dyslexic. So,
yeah, I wanted to ask you. You've been very open about that. So how does that translate into the writing process?
Well, I'm not good at typing. I'm not good at spelling. So I walk around and talk, and Lynn types. Then Lynn has an idea. I wait. She types. Then she reads me what she's just typed, and we argue over every word. And
I guess by now,
40 novels later. So there is always a way to do something you don't think you can do. This summer, we're going fishing again, but this time we're going to take our oldest grandson, who has expressed an interest, and so he will go with us for the first time, and I am very excited.
So now, what do you do? I've done it a couple of times. I think it's not my thing, but do you? Go out for a couple of days? Do you sleep on the boat? How big? Who is it? Just you and your wife and grandson and the captain? What fish do you fish for? How's it work?
So this is on a river in Idaho. It is a boat that holds 2 people plus the guide. Now, in the beginning, my wife would be in the front and I would be in the back. And there is a rule. Up into the guide's oars, everything in the front of the guide's oars is her water. Everything from the back of the guide's oars to the end of the river is my water. But sometimes her water looks so fishy that my fly would end up in her water. We now take separate boats, and we meet for lunch.
The secret to a good marriage.
Yes. And we go for trout.
Trout. Oh, trout. So trout, that's medium size. Yeah, that's.
They are anywhere from 10 inches to 25 inches.
Right.
And it is so much fun. It is very zen. You cannot think about anything else except your fly, the fish, and concentration. You can't worry about one other thing. You're in a beautiful place. The sound of the water is like a symphony of nature. And it is just so relaxing.
All right. So speaking of Zen and not thinking about anything else, how are you managing? Do you have a personal strategy for the almost over the top tumult and political Sturm und Drang is a fancy way to put it, but just the crazy, crazy times we're living through, but not just crazy, but really consequential, high stakes, nail biting, what might happen to this country. How do you process this this whole thing that I expect a lot of our listeners today are beset them as well? How do you stay sane?
Okay, so what do I know? I know this. I would like democracy to continue. So that is my overall umbrella. I am as fraught with everything that you have just said as you are, or as your listeners are. My intake of news has dropped 90%.
Wow.
I was
Consciously.
consciously, I was the perfect consumer for trying to get all the information into my mind. I realized it is detrimental to a sane life.
Yes.
What I realize is I'm not sure that at this moment in time, the country is necessarily in need of a coal baron. I think that whatever happens now, depending on how you feel, you have got to pursue with all of your heart and all of your might. But you don't have to listen to all of the talking heads all of the time.
Part of me wants to say hallelujah. Part of me wants to say don't listen to him. But no, it's really true. It's funny though. I'm up to my eyebrows in it, and I find that a desirable outcome. I really do. I would like to have like 3 hours of this crap and nothing else. But do you have in your mind, Henry, a kind of off switch that okay, no, I'm going down to 10% now? Do you time to go fishing, time to watch a comedy? What do you do physically?
It came to me. Now I have to tell you, I love two shows, aside from the others that I watch. I love watching TV. TV has been very good to me. I like to know what's
Yeah.
on, but I love America's Got Talent. When the individual is really great, I cry. And I also love The Voice.
Uh-huh.
The individual is really great, I cry.
Yeah.
Then, we just found Reservation Dogs, which is a
Reservoir
show.
Dogs, the movie?
Reservation Dogs.
It's different. I haven't heard. Okay, go ahead.
They are a group of 4 children, 17 years old, who live on in a Native American reservation.
Mm-hmm.
And it is their life. And I find it to be funny, emotional, filled with wisdom. Just out of the blue, we found this show, and it is delightful. Now there's one on BritBox, Line of Duty. Line of Duty. Unbelievable. The Bear.
You go for the bear. Well, because that's a pretty intense one. I actually was watching. It was just like,
yes.
I was right.
It's true. No, it's true. But the characters are really wonderful, and Jamie Lee Curtis should win the Emmy this year for the next season. She's amazing. All
right. So I hear a general strategy of like watching other things that aren't about the country and Donald Trump.
Roses, Harry. I like my roses.
You tend to them?
I do.
Are they different colors?
It was really hard to keep a lawn going here for the last 10 years because of the drought.
Right.
And so my backyard was anywhere from a desert to brown grass. And so I put in a rose garden so your eye would go to the color and not look at this mess. Then I put in artificial turf. So now I'm like at a golf course with a rose garden.
Uh-huh. Okay. So Henry, I'm not sure if it's not just that you were born lucky, but it's inspiring kind of respite from all the crazy stuff that seems to fill my day. Really grateful to you for talking to us, and maybe as things get gnarly down the stretch, we can check in more and
It
get
would
a
be
little
my
bit
pleasure.
of a little Zen kind of shot from you.
You bet. And I want to say something, Harry. It is, I don't tune out all to talking heads on television. It is a pleasure to listen to your expertise
Oh, that's kind
when
of
you are on. I
yeah.
have done that for years. And so it is a pleasure to be here talking to you.
Wow. Likewise, I'm sure. Thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of the summer. Hope to
You
be checking in with you during the fall.
absolutely the best to you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.